We live, baby.
What
Good
is
morning.
going
Good
on?
morning. What is going on with the faithful? This is family talk. Let's discuss it. And y'all know what it is. It's a family barbecue, man. It's your boy, the CEO. B.
Yeah, Nick.
Y'all never on time with this, bro.
Coach
Never.
A.
Y'all never on time with this.
Chef Bird gang.
Never on time.
We
And we got
got
some
we got
lovely guests today since our fellas ain't on time with the names. We got some lovely guests today. Nick, go ahead and introduce yours, my guy.
like a sister. We done known her since college.
Who is we?
Lucretia.
Who is
Huh?
we? Who is
We,
we?
me and
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
Oh, okay. You got let it be known.
Oh
Nobody
man.
else knows this lady but you and Nick. Nobody else knows her but you and Nick. You gotta understand. Golly.
Anything you want to say before we get started, Lucretia?
Jesus
No, but
Christ.
yeah, my name's Lucretia, and that's all I want to
Yes.
say.
And then y'all know who it is at the bottom. Miss Lolita from Real Talk Tuesday pulling up on us on Saturday. How you doing, Lolita?
And
Yes,
she on
happy
time.
I just about to
Hey,
say
Saturday.
she
All
was
and
early.
she was on time for the show.
y'all pray for me. It's gonna be a good day.
We sure gonna pray for you. You know we
Yes.
is. And we know we got Coach A who didn't say nothing at the top. But
I did.
oh, you did? I'm sorry, Coach.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Coach. But everything relationships today, man. We're gonna get into it. I want everybody to file in before we get to the intro. You know what we gotta do. We gotta hit them with the mental health check. So let's start with Jimbo Bird Gang. How you doing this morning?
You see that smile?
Oh my
Nick,
God.
how you doing this
All
morning?
right.
Man, I'm always a 10 when I can roll out of the bed.
I know that's right, Coach A.
10, man. I'm with Nick. If I'm up, I'm up.
Let's do it. Lucretia, how you doing mental health wise? One between 1 and 10.
Oh, I'm a 10 all the way.
I
I
feel
feel
you. I'm a
good.
10 all the way myself. Rolling out of bed is always a 10. Hendrix, how you doing, bro?
Well, hey, I'm on 12. I had that Waffle House this morning. That boy feeling great right
Hey,
now.
had that all star. Had that all star. Lolita, how you doing?
Blessed and highly favored, but this having a bad hair day, so y'all pray for the hair day.
It look good, girl. It look good.
Yeah, we
You are
can't
good
tell.
with
So you at a 9 because you're here?
Yes.
us.
Put down just one notch. Just one notch.
I'm about to say if that's a bad hair day, I don't know what to say.
For real. To
I'm
That
everybody
having
look
a
else,
good to
bad hair
me.
day.
I'm having a bad one too. That's why this on top of the head as well.
Shoot, I
So
have
I
a
was
bad
gonna
hair
get me
day
a
every
cap,
day.
but I might just have to throw my hoodie on real quick so I can
I feel you,
keep
Nick.
it kosher.
Keep it cozy. Everybody that's in the comments, y'all put in y'all 1 to 10. We'll be right back.
Tell them I ain't mad if they ain't know. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Can't nobody ever take this moment from me. So nigga, while I got it, the fuck it, it's all good. It's all good. Straight up, it's
Jimmy,
all
do you
good.
not know that dumping the ball off to your big man gets him and motivates him?
Tell them I ain't mad if they ain't know. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Can't nobody ever take this moment from me. So
I don't
nigga,
want
while
no
I
smoke
got it,
over
the
there. I
fuck it,
heard her
Man,
it's
cut
all
me.
somebody out
good.
in traffic. I don't want no
For
problems with
real.
that.
For real. I'm like, no part
I don't
of
want
that.
no problems with that.
We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make sure we check up on our viewers here. Good morning, Amanda. Tiffany, what's good? Tell Telly I say dominate today. Tell Telly I said dominate. Ali, what's happening? Let's see. T, good morning, T. Good morning, T. Everybody. Y'all know what time it is, right?
What
Quick,
time
real
is it?
quick.
Y'all know what time it is. Go ahead, coach. You know what time it is. I'm waiting for it.
Yes, sir.
News with the
Yo,
coach.
what's
Let's
up? You
get
know
it.
what time it is? It is news with Coach. So if you standing up, sit your butt down because I got some stuff for you. Yes, sir. Man, it's good to be back in the seat, man.
Yes, sir.
Getting close to the busy section, get the big bird game out my way. So listen, there was a judge, Judge Roberts. One of the guys sent this to me. I thought it was very interesting. Judge Roberts Adrian, no pun intended, age 64, found teenager Drew Clinton, 18, guilty of sexual assault. He sexually assaulted Cameron Vaughn, who's now 16, at a graduation party at a different teenager's house in Quincy, Illinois. Right? Cameron, who waived her right to autonomy, says she passed out drunk in a basement and woke up to Drew sexually assaulting her while holding a pillow over her face. He says he had consensual sex and that she was not as drunk as she claimed she was. Drew spent 5 months in county jail awaiting sentence at the January sentencing hearing. His attorney begged the judge to overturn his guilty verdict or to very least ignore the state's mandatory minimum sentence of 4 years in prison. Judge Adrian said that the boy had served plenty of time behind bars and that while he couldn't sentence him to time served, he could overturn the verdict and set him free. And what did the judge do? Set the boy free. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. Obviously, by law, the court is supposed to sentence the young man to the Department of Corrections. The court will not do that. This is not, he's not going to jail. So obviously, it's two sides to the story. They, according to some of the speculation that they didn't prove their case enough, but it's just crazy how you can, once be guilty and in jail and then the judge can overturn it just like that. The one thing that gets me is that it reminds me of that Cobra Kai, how they got all these kids drinking. Like, who throws a party, an adult throws a party and have kids over there drinking? Like, where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the reasons why the judge, said he overturned it, is because the parents, the victim, was responsible for, hosting the party or providing all the alcohol and the kids getting drunk. So I think that's just definitely crazy in that aspect. I'm real sorry that, this happened to the young lady. And, at the same time, it's just parents. You got to be more careful. You know what I'm saying? But on another note, back to Covey, right? I heard that Covey is now shrinking the stick. Huh? It's cutting the meat. Yeah, cutting the meat. It's lessening the linguine.
Oh my God.
It's causing the mini meat. It's causing the mini meat. Huh?
Oh my God.
I don't know if this is a ploy to just push people to vaccination or not. But however, there have been reports that have emerged from men who say their penis has decreased in size after having COVID. It's uncertain how widespread it is. This topic was highlighted this week. The topic was highlighted this week on How to Do Sexual Advance podcast by Slate, in which men got in contact, say that they had lost about 1.5 inches of length from this penis, from his penis after catching COVID. So how about that, fellas? You can lose some of the meat.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, they never had it.
Hey, did he run it through anybody before he was gonna put that on the news?
No, I like it.
He ain't prepared nobody for what he was about to say.
I like to give it to you raw, no pun intended.
Oh my God!
I hope that's the end of the news section.
That's the end. No, that is the end of the news.
No, that's how Coach like to end it. He like to end it with a bang. Like that's it right
That's
there.
the end. That's the end.
For sure. So I appreciate you guys. Hey, we moving into my busy season, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be, recording, or I'll be on video from the office.
Amanda, don't do my dog like that. Don't you do Nate like that. You're not finna do Nate like that. Just let me not say nothing.
What are you talking about?
Do Nate like Nate got COVID. Don't do Nate like that.
Oh, she put that on her.
He gonna spread it to us?
Nate, check your meat, buddy. Hey, eat your vegetable, man. Eat your vegetable. Push up, whatever you got the energy to do, man.
He about to mute Coach. He about to mute Coach.
Is this Saturday or Tuesday?
I know one thing. Oh my god. Hey Jody, let's get into it, Jody. Let's get into
Hey,
it. Let's get
why
into
you-
it.
Said Nate, are
Hey,
you
why-
watching?
hey, why you playing? That might be a Tuesday subject. We might have to talk about that Tuesday.
Yeah, you should. You should. Y'all go in depth. Do what
Yeah,
you
Lolita don't want to talk about it. She's shaking her head, putting her head.
Nah, I'm saying,
She don't
Go
wanna
ahead and give
talk
a
about
pre-disclaimer, ladies. Don't let
Hey.
these brothers. Don't let these brothers blame COVID for what.
It's gonna be the equivalent of when I got my hair permed in elementary school. That is gonna be the same thing. The fellas
No
probably don't know
excuses.
that analogy.
No excuses. No excuses. No excuses. Jody, let's
Hold
go.
on. Before we get started, everybody drop an emoji, a like, drop something down there.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Please share this. Please share it.
Yes, sir.
Share it. Share
Yes,
it.
sir. Y'all subscribe to that YouTube page.
Boy,
Y'all
y'all
keep showing
shout
us
out,
love,
boy.
man. Y'all some crazy. Y'all, Coach A, boy, you wild, boy.
Hey, Brandon, you need to edit that out. That
edit
that
that
segment, edit that out right there.
Yeah, nah, I think I should use it. I think I should
Yeah.
use it. I think I should use it. But anyway, Jody, let's get into it, bro.
Sorry. All right, so
You changed your hat.
yeah, you're right. You sit right here, embarrassing myself. Let me put another hat on.
Yeah. Okay,
I hit him with the Ray J. You know.
okay, I got you. Go ahead.
So
let's
listen,
do it.
since we're talking about relationships today, right? And this, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. So this question brought to you by my boy Nick up top up there. Nick gave me this
Yes, sir.
question. So it was the first question I wanted to put in today, and it was a good one, right? We all wonder sometimes is why do people wait till a certain point to leave a relationship instead of leaving when the relationship gets bad?
So we're gonna go ahead and start with our two guests. Lucretia, you wanna go first or second?
Wait, so you're saying that why? So basically, leave now instead of waiting to get back. That's what
Well,
you're
see, the
saying.
thing is this, right? Nick's thing was people get in a relationship and it's
Mhm.
like it's going towards a bad place. But instead of leaving when it gets to that bad place, people will stay for years, right?
That's
To
right.
like a certain point, to like I saved up enough money to move, or I'm gonna quit my job, or I'm gonna do this. But it's like, why wait till that when you should just leave right when it got bad? Like, why you didn't leave when you knew you wanted to leave, versus staying around knowing you don't want to be with that person? Was the question.
Okay, so Lola, do you want to go first, or do you want me? Does it matter?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So I think it's more of a mental thing. So like in any relationship you're in, there's always going to be this mental aspect. So I think that like a lot of people, and I do see it, and of course, you know, in a lot of women as well too. But when we're in a bad relationship, a lot of it's because not because the relation they don't acknowledge that it's bad. I think it's because that they have insecurities or like mental abuse. A lot of it is mental abuse. So like it's like a guilt conscious. So like if this person was with me for a while and they're treating me bad, but they're making me feel like I can't leave them. So it's more of like a mental issue. So it's like, okay, I'm kind of like unstable. So it's never really about the full relationship. It's really about the person themselves. Like, how strong enough are you to say, okay, I need to get up and leave? Like, what are the factors that's causing you to stay? Is it because they're mentally abusing you or physically abusing you? Are they telling you if you leave, I'm gonna kill you or something like that? Or if they're telling you to like, or people use like, okay, so for instance, I know somebody who's like mentally being caught in a relationship where they shouldn't be in a relationship at all. But I see the tactics, like this person make them feel really bad about either leaving or about themselves, or like everything that they do is completely wrong. So if I can have the power to manipulate you, then that means I control you. So whatever you do for yourself, it's never going to work out until you finally get that courage to say, okay, I can't do this no more and I need to leave. So that's how I feel about it. I don't think it's always about the relationship itself. I think it's about the person himself, like what's going on in their mind that's causing them to stay.
Hey Jimbo, she did it.
Yeah.
That's what
She
we were
did
looking
what
for.
we knew she
Creed.
was gonna do.
Oh.
Yep.
Go
That's
ahead,
what's
Lola.
up.
What you got?
What you got,
Yeah,
Lola?
I think that's a major factor. Can you hear me okay? 'Cause I'm on my
Yeah.
mute.
Well,
Yeah, we got
Okay,
you. You can.
and then another one is a lot of people are fear losing time, so they feel like they invest a lot of time into something, but you definitely shouldn't continue being in something, just continue a mistake because you spent a long time learning how to do it and learning it. So that is, I think, a big thing too. Is instead of looking at it as, hey, this is an experience, this is a moment, people get really caught up in that, and also people feel like they own people too. Like, oh, I spent all this time, I did this for you, so now you owe me to be with me, and it just doesn't quite work that way in relationships. So I think that's another factor.
Real talk.
and it's a guilt thing too. Like, yeah, people make you feel guilty if you want to leave or whatever. Like, even just like a best friend relationship. Like, you know how sometimes like you have a friendship with somebody and like you're actually like changing for the better, but they see you as your old self. So once you're trying to level up, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're better than me, or you're doing this, you're doing that," and it kind of makes you feel guilty because it's really like, "Yo, bro, like I'm really your friend here. I'm just on a different level. So can you accept that at least?" So people make you feel so guilty, and then, like I said, it's really an insecurity thing because if they're making you feel guilty because they feel like you're trash or they're not like on your level. At least, sorry for using the word trash. Trash is like my favorite word. So
We good.
I'm not trying to
Don't
degrade
feel
somebody,
sorry.
but trash is like something I use in my vocabulary. But so anyway, so I think that people feel like they have to control every situation that they're in, and it could also go back to stems to way past just a relationship. It's like, what issues did you have with your mother or father that made you feel like I got to hold on to this? Like, if you've never seen a good marriage, but you want to be married so bad, I'm gonna hang on to whatever I got, you know. So I think that's where it's all a mental thing. Like, I think every relationship is all a mental thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coach, what you got?
I'm ready for it, Coach.
Well, I agree with both the ladies, and it's
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
everything in this world is a mental thing. It's all that's where it stems from, your perception of what you're looking at, what you're viewing, and what you think the outcome's going to be. We always live by the past, I don't know if you realize that, like, and so when it comes to actually leaving, sometimes there's multi different reasons that people leave. Like, some people mention that you got to, you can't afford to leave right now. Where you gonna go? You don't have no place to go. So you want to leave. It's bad. It's bad, but you ain't gonna sleep on the streets. So you don't have no family member to go to. A lot of people want the relationship to get better. They working on that. There's potential. There's maybe it's going to get better if I just hang in there. This person will change, or these situations will change if we just hang in there and fight through it. And a lot of people fight through these things, and sometimes it gets worse. So it just depends on the individual and what you're dealing with, and that'll let you know or why people leave. So, but ultimately, when you start talking about it being mental, that's the bottom line. That's like the bottom line. How do you view your situation, and do you think it's going to get better, or do you think it's going to get worse, and then you're going to make that decision based on that. So, I really don't have much to add. They hit it on the head. Of course,
They
there's
sure
a lot
do.
of other reasons.
Yeah, you can't add much.
Yeah, for sure.
But I tell you who can
Hey,
add
hey,
something.
look, hey, hold on, Jimbo. LaQuisha, you got to go last because I think you said everything everybody else is gonna say. So from
Okay.
here on out, you're gonna be our closer today. So Telly and I.
You just punish the guests like that?
Yeah, I just did that. Yeah, I just did that. You got to go
Who?
last because she said so much in that.
Now, Lucretia, she'll find something else to say now.
But that's what we want, though. That's
Yeah.
good.
I just, like I said, just go last. 'Cause,
Okay.
I don't know what Jimmy talking about, but just go last. Just go last. Jimbo, what you got, bro?
I think the only person left to ask is Derek Jackson. Yeah. That's the only other guy left to ask. I'm pretty sure he got some great advice to give.
The person that asked is Derek Jackson. Well, y'all heard what Jimbo said. CM, bro, what you got on it? What you got on it?
Come on, Mike.
We can hear you, CM. I guess we can't hear you. CEO.
He's stalling.
You stolen.
Can you hear me now?
You say he's stalling.
Yeah,
Yo,
lagging.
I'm not. Oh, okay. I'm not stuck. Can you hear me now? My computer messing up.
we can hear you before.
All right. So first of all, Derek Jackson, and don't forget my boy Kevin Samuels. Okay, don't do him like that. He can speak on this too.
Oh, Lord.
In all honesty, it's a toxic trait. Especially with men. Men do this thing where it's like, I'm not leaving this relationship, even though I'm not happy, it's because I don't want to see you with nobody else. To me, that's one of the biggest things that I think when I hear that. It's just like, I'm not like, I can't stand this girl. I don't want to be with her, but at the same time, I want to watch somebody else be with her. So that's the biggest thing for me. I see when people say like, why don't you leave that relationship? And honestly, it's the same thing for ladies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ladies get caught up in it. I done invested so much time. Now I can't leave because then I wasted all this time. So for women, it's a, and for dude, it's a, I don't want to see nobody else with this woman thing, even though I can't get it right. I can't get it together. And but you do also have people that are just petty, and people that are just petty, just like, hey, bruh, I don't know what it is, but I don't want to leave. Or you have the homosexuals who I don't have a place to stay, so you know this is it. I'm gonna lay up in her crib. Or you have chicks that are like, hey, I don't want to get a job, so this dude making all the money, so I'm gonna stay. So you have a lot, and I mean a lot of reasons why people stay in relationships that they don't want to necessarily be in. Because I've seen people who tell me stuff like, I've been living with a person for 5, 6, 7 years, and we haven't had sex in 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and it's just like y'all can't stand each other to the point where y'all sleeping in different bedrooms. But why don't you just leave? I don't know. You know, maybe we can get it right. And you got a lot of people that are like, oh, we just gonna keep working on it. And it's like, bro, you've been working on it for 2 years. At this point, you need to work on getting your own place and getting out of this relationship, because you ain't doing nothing but like killing yourself in a certain aspect. So that's really my take on it. Is just people just don't want to change. Or you have people who just don't like change. You have people who just don't like change. So it's just like, maybe I don't really like change. I don't want to change the person. I don't want to change my surroundings. Or I'm living with this person and I don't want to go back home. You just got people who just don't want to do better for themselves. So that's really my take on that situation right there.
Well, thank you, CM, man. We really appreciate that.
Change is always uncomfortable for anybody. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better say a word.
So I got a question. Amanda put up something that her grandmother said.
Oh yeah,
So-
let's talk about that.
Yeah. So my thing is like, if you starting to hide money just so you don't have to, leave for a financial reason,
Tell him, Nick.
is that like in the back of your mind, you thinking or knowing that this isn't gonna work?
They're preparing to fail. Just say it.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I hide money in my house too from my wife, but that's just so if anything just come up, we need some money. Hey, here's some extra money that whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't hide money for the intent of if anything goes wrong. So like I don't get that, at least hide the money part.
Okay, so I don't agree with that either, because I feel like if it's secretive to the point where you got to do that, and that means that somewhere along the way you actually don't trust in the relationship. So if something does happen, you're already preparing your mind. Okay, this didn't work. So technically, you're kind of wasting your time. But I do believe that. Like, and I think women always feel like we shouldn't have this, but I do believe that we should always have our own separate accounts. That's in general. But
So let me ask you a question. Do you
yeah.
think you should have your own separate account with your partner able to view what's going on in your account?
I wouldn't have an issue with that.
Because that's how me and my wife got set up. She got her account, I got mine, but she can our accounts are linked. So every time I go into my app, I can see my account and her account, and vice versa. She know all the passwords to everything that I own and got. So it ain't like we hiding anything.
But if you have a secret, and that means I think the only time you should have a secret account is if you're in a like a relationship where it's like abusive and you're trying to free yourself. Like that's where I see it, because then like some people, like some women actually do make a plan to try to leave a relationship, so they make these separate accounts, make these separate entities so they can actually leave. But I don't think you should have a separate account.
I'm sorry, who is Katie? Who is Katie?
You see with his eyes. But yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry to cut you off, Cree.
Yeah, no, you cut
you good. No,
you cut off.
But yeah, I mean, I was actually talking to somebody about this situation, and I told this person that it wasn't right or whatever, because I think this person know eventually that the relationship is gonna end, not on like bad terms, but just both of them gonna decide to go their own way. But my thing is, why would you wait a couple of years down the road to make that decision when you can just make it now and just part ways? Mm-hmm. But yeah, you saving up money so you can financially, I guess, get your part of it while this dude is paying everything in this house.
Well,
but again, I think that's on him also.
What she mentioned is that if it's a process, like you can't leave right now, but he's abusive and you need to go.
Yeah, I get that.
Working on it in that aspect. I agree with that. I think that's a good idea because it'll help you in the long run. And you never know. By the time you get to that point, the relationship might get better, and then you can just reveal or do whatever you need to do at that point. But if you whatever you need to do to get out, if it's save money now or work on that, then you definitely should do that. But you do set yourself up mentally for failure when you hiding money and you feel like this is here in case it goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like directing your faith in the wrong direction. Like if you have faith that this is going to work out, then it's like closing your eyes and falling back, and that's your parachute. Y'all helping each other. But if you have to have something extra, then you're not leaning on each other. If you're hiding it, I'm not saying you can't, make some money and save it and have it on the side. But if it's hidden, then I think that's different.
Hey, Miss Donna, I think you can go ahead and put your opinion out there. I don't think nobody gonna ban you from the live.
Man, Miss Donna, we'll do you better. Go to our YouTube page, click that link, go ahead and pop in on this.
Yeah, just say what you got to say, Donna. Ain't nobody
so you can say everything you want to say.
Exactly. Now, if you getting out loud, we might mute you, but we ain't gonna ban you. We love to mute you. We ain't gonna ban you. Nah, we'll never.
We ain't gonna kick you off. We love just hearing different opinions about different stuff.
Everybody's opinions about it. So yeah, put in what you want to put in, Donna.
And quite honestly, everybody's speaking from their own perspective. So if you have a wild and left perspective, then that's just you. It has nothing to do with anybody else. So as long as we're respectful to everybody. You say what's on your mind for sure.
Absolutely.
Some people disagree. Hey, I need to have my own money. He don't need to see it, or she don't need to see it, and that's that. Some people live like that.
If you do all that, just say, hey, I don't trust him. I don't trust her. Just go ahead and
that's
say
it. That's what it boils down to.
I mean, we might have more questions for you, but we just love getting different people's perspectives.
So
yeah,
I'm guessing y'all are against prenups too.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, but that's but I think that's also situational because I think if all of us had millions of dollars, you gonna get a prenup. You know what I mean? But we talking about people that work regular 9 to 5s. Like I ain't got nothing to give you.
Like you coming in with everything you came, you leaving with everything you came with. I still want a prenup because you might.
I don't think. Think about it. If you're signing the prenup before you get married, then it's a lack of trust too.
Yeah, that's another mental aspect of it.
Yeah, if you decide to marry somebody, then you're deciding to combine either what your greatness and whatever little bit they have, or whatever greatness they have, and a little bit you're deciding to combine it, become one. So if you have to do a prenup, then you already starting off like, you know what?
Hey, CM. We ain't gonna hit that. That's another topic, CM.
Didn't y'all talk about that on Real Talk, Lola and CM?
Yeah, we did touch on it a little bit, but you know, we talked about it with us peoples on Real Talk. We ain't talk about it with y'all
Yeah.
good conscious people.
Yeah,
Listen, you
everybody
don't put a
was
stop
like,
to this
no
good stuff
prenup.
like we some kind of angels.
Saints
You
or something.
like
Y'all
saying,
is.
you gonna stop that. You gonna stop that because you ain't as toxic as you make people out to look to be.
I'm not. I'm so enough glad you started saying it. Thank you.
Stop.
Not.
Stop it.
I'm
Next,
not.
next topic, CEO.
Yeah, next topic, CM. CM about to get booted. Now, yeah, he about to get booted. That's what's gonna happen.
You about to change the passcodes, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Jimbo, get him ready. Get him ready. Go ahead, CM.
All right. And this was my subject, by the way. I thought about it. I was riding down the street listening to the radio, and I heard this question. I was like, man, this is a good topic. So, if a man proposes and the female says no, is that relationship over? Are you done? Like, are you walking away?
Lucretia, you going last?
Yeah, Lucretia gonna last. We don't want because I couldn't say nothing because you said everything. So I'm gonna go first. It depends.
Freshly engaged.
Yeah, I am freshly
Katie
engaged.
said it's done.
She said, "Oh, yeah." Katie said she out of there. But I think it's one of those situational things as well. It depends. I was talking to Charnel yesterday, and what she said was, she's like, the woman will show you if she want to spend the rest of her life with you. And I'm not a woman, so I can't adjust to that. We got two ladies in here, so y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But a woman will know if she want to spend the rest of her life with you. She'll give you signs that she wants to do it or she don't want to do it. So it shouldn't be a surprise if you've already been getting the signs if you propose and she says no. And I think this goes back to the first topic, that if she says no, she's already been seeing the red flags or whatever you want to call it that she's saying no to, or she got her own thing going on. But I think that's one of those situational things. If let's say, for example, I ask Sam to marry me and she say no. Of course, I want to know why. And if she explains to me why, we got things that we need to work out before we move to that next level. That's something that I would agree to. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to jump into something that that can potentially end when you know it's bad going in. So I think that's still one of them situational things. Now, in my case, she said yes. So I'm thankful. Thankful my baby said yes, because she had me crying on Christmas, boy. But I think it's one of those situational things, in my personal opinion. What y'all got?
Well, I think only a fool would get a no.
Only a fool would get a no.
Exactly, because you with this person, you ain't had that conversation. I mean, let's be real. You're gonna have these adult conversations, seeing what your future is, and if they making plans, and you're not included, don't ask them. If you ain't talk about a ring, what type of ring she like, or just different that, you a fool. You know what I'm saying? You got to really know your woman.
You got to pay attention.
I give you a prime example with me. When I first started talking to my wife, she told me we weren't gonna be nothing but friends. So I ain't gonna come back the next day and propose to her then. No. You have to make sure. And then as we started growing together and getting close, then we started having conversations and stuff. And I can tell from the conversations, that, like you said, started seeing signs that, this is, she's making plans for us to be together. Like she wants this is something she wants permanently. She trusts me and, be able to provide for the family and do all this thing. So then, when you pop the question, now I do agree. Like if you had this conversation and she said, no, I need to finish school, right? Like I want to finish school. Yeah. And then you just jump on there and automatically propose to her, you might get a no because you ain't paid.
She already told you. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to do this. I want to do this. Let's not go to that point yet. And it's okay not to go to that point yet.
Yeah.
And
so that's why I feel like fool. That's why I feel like only a fool would get a no, because he really ain't, he not paying attention to what's going on. He just walking in la la land like, oh, I'm gonna marry this girl.
So let me throw a monkey wrench in it. So what if y'all done been together long enough where she financially stable, school is done, you good, and then you go to her and you ask her, and then she say no, and it's like 5, 10 years down into the relationship. What y'all thinking now?
Same with me. It's the same thing. You have to have. then these 10 years, you had to have this conversation about the future and what y'all working towards and what y'all want to do. If she's saying by then you're going to have that discussion, she's going to be like, I don't want to get married, or I don't want to marry you, or this ain't going, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy the way I am, or I'm happy how things are. Then you have to, again, if you're going to propose to her and you didn't have this conversation, then she's going to make you look, she's going to be like, I told you no. Now you better get up off the ground. So you just have to really pay attention and communicate. Communication is key.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cree, what you got? I know you ain't laughing, but you look like you itching.
I agree with Coach A. Like, communication is always key, but there's a lot of scenarios too, and it is a situational thing, because I do feel like there is a lot of women who are in a relationship, they see red flags, but they never addressed it. So when even if that conversation of marriage is there, they're all in it, but sometimes in their back in their mind, or that inclination, they still feel like there's either a red flag or they're just not ready for it. So when that question comes up and she tells them no, that becomes a problem, but it's a problem on her, not on him. So it is a situational thing, because sometimes people don't open up their mouths at all and say, hey, I'm not ready. Or even if the conversation is of marriage, or even you can be in a relationship where you know that you're ready to marry him and he's ready to marry you, but that timing, it may not be right. So he's all in it, he's ready, he's pumped and stuff like that, I'm gonna get the ring and stuff like that, but the woman feels like it's not time yet. So of course that conversation has to come, so y'all can have a deeper conversation, because it's just like in a marriage, like once you become in a marriage, you become one. So sometimes the male may feel something, but the woman is like, hold up, let's wait for a moment. But then vice versa. Sometimes the woman's like, I don't know yet. But then the dude is like, okay, I think it's time for us to do this. So it's really about, but then again, like you said, Coach A, communication is everything. And if two parties not willing to communicate effectively, and then also deal with other personal issues they have, then it will never work out. But it is a situational thing. So.
Yeah. I think one situation is she ain't got divorced yet from her other husband.
Oh my gosh.
now you being messy. Lolita, what's up?
It's a wrap. Bye.
Oh. Hey, she been waiting.
Hold up. But Lolita, you probably the one saying no though.
No, so first of all, let's keep it real. Women want to be married 99% of the time. So they're giving you signs and all that other good stuff. So if she says no, she don't want to be with you. She don't. People can get on here and say what they want to say. That's the bottom line. They don't want to be with you. You're not the husband. That's it. And the discussion, leave her. She don't want to be with you.
You're not him.
How about the other women now? We have women now who are on the path of, it's my success and I have to do this. I got to get to this goal first before I tie myself to a committed relationship or marriage. So it could be they want to be in a marriage, but right now they're like, I got to get my goals right. Like, I got to get this goal with this money. I want to be.
I gotta get this bag.
I gotta get this bag, because there is women we have those type of women out there right now. Like, success is what they're looking for first. So if they want to get that first, but they still want to get married, maybe for them it's not that time.
But Katie just put in out earlier. She said you can still get engaged and get married and still chase your get your plan.
You're right.
Yeah. You can do all of it.
Those things are not. They're parallel. They're not synonymous in any way, shape, or form. And it could be that she doesn't want to be married. It could be. I mean, the real logic isn't. I guess the reason isn't the issue. The bottom line is she don't want to marry you, whether it's now or whatever. And I'm not sticking around to figure out if you want to marry me next year or the year after that. If I was married, I'd be home right in there.
Lolita, how long you giving them there?
What, after they say no?
No, just in general, like to propose. How long you giving them?
So by 6 months, you should be bringing it up.
Oh my God, 6 months?
Hold on, say that again.
Ain't nothing
No,
wrong
no,
with
no.
6 months.
I didn't hear that. What you
6
say?
months, you should be 6 months. So 6 months, you should be hinting at you want to build a future. Like this is something that you're really interested in, and definitely no more than 2 years as adults. Now, if you start a relationship at 18, I mean, it could be a 10-year thing because we're grown, we're evolving, we're young. But after like your 30s, anything over 2 years, we playing.
You should know.
We're playing.
Yeah, I'm not doing over 2 years. I'm sorry. That's not happening.
It ain't
But-
nothing wrong.
But shouldn't you have that conversation at the beginning? Like,
Of course.
hey, like exactly what Lola's saying. I think that should be something that you should talk about from the jump.
Yeah, I don't plan on being single all my life. I do want to
Yeah.
be married. So once you have that conversation, then it makes it easier for the guy. But people don't want to be engaged. I know you mentioned that you can be engaged and still work on this stuff. A lot of people don't want to be engaged because an engagement is a big thing and everybody sees it. And so here you got engaged, but you're gonna wait 2 years to get married. Some people don't want to go
Okay.
through that.
So don't
Some people
publicize.
don't want to go through that, so they just want to wait, like she said, until they get their career set. Then you pop the question. Then we can do the regular cycle. Because I ain't got people asking, "When's the wedding date? When's the wedding date? When's the wedding date?"
Well,
Don't
2
tell
years
about that.
will
Between you and your man.
convene, and if I'm single, we'll figure it out.
And people
You're
change. You can change. You can change. You can say no one day and be like yes another time. So it just all situations ain't the same, you know.
ACM, you've been
What's
making
good?
you've been making a lot of movement over there, man.
I'm just listening. I'm just observing. I'm listening.
learning.
You listen pretty hard. So what you took in? And what you took in?
Um,
You know what he got, not what he took in.
I want to know what he took in.
That's a hell no for me. And you better hope I'm on some good guy stuff. Cause this uppercut finna be hell if you tell me no. Okay.
Okay, we're not out here hitting women.
But you don't think certain people is worth fighting for? Like if you know
fight if you tell me no.
That one, but if you know
Even
you
if
have
they
a
tell you
good
no,
woman,
It's a wrap.
Certain people you just not gonna fight for, Jody.
It's a wrap. I felt like I have gotten to a place where I want you to be my forever person. And I'm with Lola. Like, you know if you want to be married to me or not. Because think about it like this, and here's the paradox of it, right? We having this conversation. As a woman, right, you look at this man, and you, in your mind, you know, I want to marry this man. So if he asks me to marry him, I'm going to say, yeah, no. So as a woman, you know beforehand if this dude is husband material enough for you to say yes to this proposal. So if he's not husband, like you got to think about it. I've been with this dude 4 years, and if he asks me to marry him, I'm going to say no. If you don't know the answer to that question, then you need to leave him alone. So you knew if I was husband material before I asked you to marry me. So if I ask you to marry me and you say no, obviously I'm not husband material. Obviously we both wasted our time, and obviously I'm done. We ain't got nothing else to talk about after that. Point blank, period. It's like there is no wait, there is no well, maybe no. Because at the end of the day, right, I asked you to marry me, right? What the hell changes in my day-to-day life? Brandon, since you've asked Sam to marry you, right, this Christmas, what has changed on your day-to-day life? I'm going to answer it for you. Nothing. Y'all still go about y'all every day as the same, right? Tomorrow.
Listen, it's not just nothing. I'm gonna tell you that's actually wrong. It's not just nothing. Knowing that she's my fiance actually changes something.
Right, that's
I'm
a
not
mental
sure. It is a mental thing, but you said what changes. That is what changes. My mental
But like
changes
on your
now.
and your mental, but like she still cooks dinner the same as she did before she got the proposal. Y'all still take a shower and go to sleep the same before she got that proposal. Y'all still the same before you got that proposal.
You talking
like,
about the material and the physical thing. That's what you
right. That's what I'm saying. So some of these females are like, I don't want to get married right now. What's gonna change between you being married and you being engaged and not engaged? Like I said, you can be engaged for 3-4 years and not have the wedding. You don't want people in your business to know you're engaged. Then don't tell people your business. People ask you when the wedding, tell them none of their damn business. You gonna pay for something? Then get the hell out of my business. Like straight up. Like it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Jesus.
Now you're sticking to Jody we was talking about. Thank you. Right on cue.
No, because at the end of the day, it's like this.
Teresa, you stupid.
You, as a woman, knew if you wanted me to ask you to marry you, and would you accept the proposal? So if you're not going to accept my proposal today, What the hell made me think you're gonna accept it 6 months from now? What the hell?
But Jody, you know, in relationships, you know you're gonna have hurdles and different things
Okay, Jody.
that you're gonna have to fight with.
So look at Teresa's comment, and I want you to answer this truly. Don't just answer it as off the cuff. Answer this truly, because this is exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that just proves that y'all not meant to be. If I don't know my partner enough to know this isn't the right time. No, no. If your grandma just died,
it might not be. But the thing is, it might not be a right time for today, but it could be a right time for later in the future. It doesn't have to be today. It can be later.
But nothing changes. If I ask you to marry me today, it's not gonna change your work status. It's not gonna change your gas mileage on your car. It's not gonna change.
Jody, Jody, you have to understand that when it comes to marriage, it's a comfort level. So obviously, right now, this person is not comfortable with whatever the situation is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you're not gonna be comfortable 6 months from now.
Yeah,
straight up. Like
you're
not gonna be a year from now.
You can change it.
I tell you what. You know what? You're right. You're not comfortable, but guess what? You can be comfortable with somebody else. Maybe the next dude can ask you to marry you. And
Jody, she can tell you yeah today, and then 10 years later she'll be a whole different person.
We are gonna be 10
then what you gonna do?
10 years later.
Yeah, but what you gonna do then? Is it over then? Cause you're not the person that I married.
No, you work it out. If that's the case, she said, yeah, in this moment, and y'all been married for 10 years, people change every day. You different from who you was yesterday.
Hey, when you talk, listen, you talking about what's the difference? Nothing changes. You right. If you with somebody for 10 years and they say no, and you wait 10 more years and they say yeah, you still together, dog. You're gonna sacrifice this good woman because she's not comfortable right now. Now, I do agree, if you have a time limit, if there's some things you're working on, then you have to work on something in yourself. Like, you know what? Maybe I need to produce more or put her in a more comfortable situation so I can get that yes. Because she's everything that I want. Yes, sir.
And these comments are jumping right now, and I'm only saying this because it's hard for me to keep up with these comments. If y'all want to come on and say y'all piece, y'all say y'all piece because these comments is jumping. A lot of y'all got a lot to say right now.
Shouts out to Katie. Katie going in, boy.
Hey, Katie going in. T going in. Chris going in. Sam going in. Hey, y'all come on and speak because I can't contain.
Hey, I just told T that she come out here and jump on. She ain't say nothing to me.
She just said she'll come on.
You know how she be acting. Oh, I hate him when
she talks to send her invite when she in the next room over.
Hey, don't do your passenger seat driver like that.
Don't do that, dude. Don't do that.
Don't do our passenger seat
she knows
like
she's my girl.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you know if you want this or not. And if you don't want it now, then I'm pretty sure you're not gonna want it. Because for me personally, I'm the type of guy, like I said, I'm not asking you to marry me in those 6 months. I'm not even gonna ask you in the first year. It's gonna take me 2 to 3 years to kind of evaluate you as a person, because I need to see you at all stages of your life before I think I want to make a commitment. I need to see you when you up. I need to see you when you down.
There's a problem with that. There's a problem with that because you say all stages of your life, like Jimbo said, those stages of your life is gonna change. They're gonna change at some point.
Right, but I need to see enough to where I know like this is a person I can spend my life with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I don't see enough in the first 2-3 years, then either I'm gone or I'm gonna ask you to marry me. And if you ain't seen enough for me in 2-3 years or 4 years or however it's been, then what's the point? It's like your views of me ain't gonna change in another year, another 2 years. Not gonna change.
We all change in 10 years. The only thing you need to see
is going through from a personal standpoint.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in a relationship with that person, but you're not living together. You don't know what that person is going through on the day-to-day basis, what mental situations they're facing. Mental health is something that is extremely important, but it's never talked about. So if you're coming from a mind frame of, if I ask her tomorrow and she say no, I'm dipping her, you don't know what that could potentially do to that individual that all along planned on marrying you, but is dealing with something that maybe they can't talk to you about.
But on the
maybe
flip
they're
side,
dealing with something that
if you say you communicating with them, that's something you should be.
What
communicating
I'm
about.
talking about
asking
is
you
from a
to marry
person
me.
that suffers from mental situations that is not
You should,
comfortable
as a
communicating
person,
with that.
as that person's partner, you should know if that person's going through
You,
situation.
Jody, you got people out here
People
famous
don't
making
tell
millions of
everything, though,
dollars
Jody.
out here committing suicide in hotel rooms because they don't feel comfortable talking to nobody. They got a huge support system, wonderful partners in life, and they out here killing themselves. You got people up and dying every single day that are famous, that have that from the outside looking in, have their life completely together, and they out here killing themselves
And if you in that
because
place
they
of
did
mind,
not
then
feel
you don't need to be in a
comfortable
relationship. You
to
need to
talk
focus
to
on yourself.
people. It has nothing to do with being comfortable in there's things that I deal with personally that I wait to talk to Nick about until I'm in the right mindset and headspace to speak about. You can't hold a person's entire life decisions in 24 hours when you don't know that person's mental state. You want somebody to tell you yes, but then you on the flip side, in your mind, you're going into the situation negatively, and you're sitting there saying, well, if you don't give me my answer today, I'm dropping you like a bag of trash. You got to be more mature than that. Marriage is something that you can't go into half cocked.
Or
So I have a question.
I got someone to say. Hold up. I get everything T said.
Hold on, Jody. Hold on, Jody.
Because I really want to say what I want to say. I really get what T said, right? But like, I noticed that people, that's an extreme situation, right? That's an extreme situation, and that is a very delicate situation. But that's not always the situation. Not every single person is going through this really extreme mental battle. Some women just don't want to say yes. This not. We don't have to go so extreme to prove a point. Like that's a very extreme point. It could be something.
But you don't know if it's that extreme or not.
We don't know.
You're making an assumption that it's not that extreme because we're not millionaires making tons of money, sitting in a mansion with a Porsche and a Lambo in the driveway. But just because you don't have tons of money doesn't mean you don't go through significant issues. And on the flip side, you could be rich and famous and not go through nothing. But you have to be willing. Marriage is not something that you enter into lightly. You take the good and the bad. You take the blessings and anything else that comes your way. Me and Nick have been through some very tough situations as a married couple that if we weren't strong-minded people, we would not have overcome. I lost my grandmother. I contemplated suicide. I never told Nick until 2 years ago. Because my grandmother was my life and she died. And you talking about, I walked around this man this whole time. I'm about to cry. I walked around this man the whole time and Nick never knew that thought had crossed my mind.
I mean, you know things are wrong, but sometimes you just gotta.
You have to let that person come out and say what they want to say when they want to say it. Me and Nick have a very strong marriage. We have a very good understanding of one another, and we literally talk about every single thing. And I eventually talked to him about that when my mental state was much better. You can't enter into these situations lightly. You enter into a marriage lightly, it will chew you up, spit you out, and slap you on the butt on the way out.
But I tell you, and I'll tell Jody, I'll tell you what's an extreme situation. A person that quits because they don't get what they want. That's an extreme situation.
And that's selfish.
If you're willing to give up just because she said no right now, then you probably right. You should give up because you're not the best person for her.
You're the same guy that says you should take a bitch that's got no job. I should be out here trying to find my soulmate without a job too. So, like I said,
help her get a job though. Hold on, let's let our guests go real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because
Oh, I don't even know where this is going, so I'm just listening right now.
Oh,
I thought you had a question.
Yeah, but it's Teresa actually just pinpointed everything I kind of wanted to say, so I'm good.
Hey, Lolita, go ahead, because you kind of on the other side of this with Jody.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that when people have mental struggles, hurdles, that's an individual thing, and that's the worst time that you can go into a relationship, the worst time you can go into a marriage. So we also, I think, and this is important for me because I've had someone close to me commit suicide. And I don't want anyone to carry that burden. That's an individual thing, has nothing to do with anybody else. You can't stop somebody or make somebody feel better by waiting or anything like that. You gotta, that's completely separate from the topic. But yeah, it doesn't change the fact that it's not that person's time. And if it's your time and you want to be married, then you need to redirect your energy. So to kind of answer the Coach A, yeah, it is a perfect example. It's not that I didn't get what I want. It's that we're not on the same page, and I don't have time to waste. And that's what a lot of people do. They sit up there and go, okay, ignore those red signs that we're not compatible or this isn't our time. And you shouldn't hold yourself and from life experiences and possibilities just because one person isn't ready. I mean, I've still been with somebody from 10 years ago. If that's the case, no, I got up out of there. And life has been great because we weren't compatible, and that's okay. Everybody ain't for everybody. So that's my point of view on that.
But I feel like you're not compatible within. I feel like after a few months, right then and there you're not compatible.
Yeah, compatibility.
Compatibility happens right off cuff. If your conversations aren't the same, if your goals don't align, right then and there that is not going to go anywhere. If you got somebody out here that wants to party and you're an inside, you like to stay at home, you like to chill.
That was us
in the beginning.
At the beginning. But
if you got and changed. Yeah, if you got somebody on one person likes to blow money, like they got extra money to blow, and the other person's a saver. There's right from cuff.
That was us too.
But I needed to mature.
Don't be putting her out there like that.
No, I'm just saying. We at the beginning, not saying we wasn't compatible, but we was on different ends of the spectrum, and I think that was good for us.
Yeah.
It kind of just balanced us out. Whether she spent money and I was saving, or I was going out and she was staying home.
Now, was that at the beginning of your relationship or your marriage?
Say it again.
Was that at the beginning of your relationship or your marriage?
The beginning of the relationship.
Okay, and you, in your mind, you felt like this was something that you was willing to work towards, and somebody asked to marry somebody, and somebody said yeah, and you guys have worked through everything else inside your marriage, right? And you guys are you guys are happy, right? At that point, that's what you're supposed to do. But if I'm asking you to marry me, that means that I've got to a point where it's like, hey, whatever bull crap come after this, I'm thugging it with you, right? But if you don't want me to thug it with you, then you said no. Then at this point, I can't really concern myself with anything that happens after you, as far as just a good person. I can't care about you the same way I would if you was my wife. I'm gonna care about you as a general human being, but I'm not gonna care about you as my wife. And if you do have those mental struggles, I care about you as a person. I hope you get help, that you get through that. But I'm not gonna care about you as my wife because you didn't want to be that. And
but since
I'm done. Peace out.
Since you brought up struggles, let's talk about another struggle. Who comes first? Your wife, your husband, or your kids?
That's next week, Jimmy.
Huh?
I said that's next week.
No, that's a good question.
No. That's this. That's this now.
Lord. That's why we make a schedule, dog.
Yeah, Jimmy, that's next week, bro. Hey, but I like how you tried. No, Jimmy didn't. He tried to switch the subject. I like that, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You can bring it back just to the relationship standpoint and not talk about kids. In a relationship, I tell everybody, I'm a store manager. I run my store, but my husband runs my household. And those of you that know me know I'm very strong. I'm very independent. And I have a very, very, very hard opinion about stuff. But at the end of the day, God made
I don't run this household. We run it together. Don't listen to her. We run this thing together.
No, we know who run the house. The dog do. Bentley running things over there. That's who runs.
Bentley definitely runs the house. He's a whiner right now.
That's what's up. Hey, CM, we took some time on that one question, man. Let's get to that next one.
But that's the next one.
We put that in because we had Miss Lucretia coming and hang out with us today, so we put that in.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Oh, that is the next one.
Oh, my bad.
So go ahead, ask me again.
Don't shoot the messenger, Jimbo. Don't shoot the messenger.
Nah, y'all forgiven. So, Miss Lola, Miss Lucretia, I don't think any of you are married, but right now, as it stands, when you get married, what is your mentality?
What was the question
Who
again?
who comes first in the marriage? Your spouse or your kids? As of right now, it might change, but as of right now.
Okay, so of course I'm not married and I'm not in a relationship, but based off what I observe in a lot of, great marriages that I see around me, um, so in children, children are essential. These are your offspring. These are, people that you made. They need you, but I believe your spouse comes first, and let me tell you why.
Where the
Because
hand claps, coach?
What?
I
Where
said,
the
where the
hand
hand
claps?
claps at?
Oh yeah,
There we go.
There we go.
So I believe your spouse comes first because if you and your spouse are not in a good space, what makes you think you can bring that on to your children? If you and your spouse are not in a great space, then your children reaps whatever that you guys are in, right? So if my communication with my spouse is not great, my children sees it. If the way I interact with my spouse is not good, then my children sees it. So it's a triple effect. So if y'all, I feel like, I don't know, like I said, I'm not in marriage or whatever, but if y'all not having sex completely, and I'm going back to like a more biblical term, I feel like you're giving the enemy more of a way to get into your relationship because the enemy comes to creep at night. So if y'all not having sex all the time to make y'all relationship amazing, then there's gonna be a separation there. So if y'all are separated,
talking that real
and
talk.
physically, then your children sees that. And I'm a product. I love my parents to death. They don't. I don't blame them for anything. But I'm a product of a relationship or marriage where it didn't go well. My parents are good now, but they were separated for the majority of my life, right? And it trickled down to me. So everything that they did, it came to me mentally. I was depressed, but I was depressed. I was affected by it. I never really saw what love was, physically or emotionally. I never saw it like as a relationship, as a couple. So that always, and then on my mom's side, my mom is like independent, which is nothing wrong with that, but she's too independent. So for me, I felt like I got to be very independent because since he's not going to get it right, so I got to do everything on my own. So I feel like if my parents were at a good stage, I think no relationship is an amazing relationship. You got to go through ups and downs and figure it out together. But if I don't see the best example in who is the person who created me, of God, then how can I be able to function in life as somebody who's growing up? So that's how I feel. But I feel like your spouse comes first.
Lolita.
You're gonna be married real soon.
I was just gonna say, Katie's like my spirit animal because literally everything she said, that's where my head was going at. I think your spouse is your right hand man, woman, or whatever the case may be, and that relationship you definitely need to nourish. And I don't think that you would love your spouse anymore with your kids or anything like that, but you guys definitely have to be a partnership, have to be on one accord, and have to be the best example and in the best mental space and emotional health, everything, so that way you can be there for your children. So I would say I don't think anyone goes above anybody, but definitely that's gonna be my go-to, my first is my spouse.
And can I go just a little bit deeper, just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I'm around a lot of like families and stuff like that, I noticed even like children, everything as young as birth. So if you and your spouse are always arguing or always stressed, that goes on to a child immediately, and they feel it. So it goes immediately as soon as that child comes out of the womb. Like, if you guys are not working on what y'all need to work on, and it's always constant bickering, fighting, y'all not getting along, that trickles down to a child. Because I've seen it myself. Like, I've seen a stressed baby because their parents are always arguing.
A stressed baby, Cream?
No, you can see it.
That's real.
That's real.
No, I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
That baby be stressed, crying. I'm like, oh my gosh! And all they needed is just some like calm
Stress, God's favorite baby out.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
And shout
So
out
Jimbo,
to
what you think?
Teresa.
Oh, my bad, little Lily.
Just
Go
real
ahead.
quick, shout out to Teresa for breaking generational curses because it's so real.
Absolutely.
So real. So real.
Okay, they been married for a good 100 years, man.
Who that? Oh, you talking about her parents?
Nah, y'all too.
Oh yeah, we coming
And y'all
up on
marriage
11
look
next
beautiful.
week.
Y'all marriage
Yeah,
look
that's
beautiful.
amazing. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Coach, give us some claps.
He did. You
He
ain't listening.
did.
Nah, I ain't here. Let me hear it again.
And I'm there with me and Brandon. Like their marriage is authentic.
Yeah, it is. It really
It's
is.
amazing.
It's beautiful.
I'm trying to get like y'all.
I told T a long time ago. I watched you and Nick, and that's how I wanna not be like y'all, but that's just it's like a standard.
But the
It's a
thing is,
standard
like,
that I wanna
we
get
still
to.
won't argue, but we still
We
get heated.
disagree.
Yeah, disagreements, conversations, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we got what we got.
Absolute. But yeah, let's get back to the question. Jody, who we putting first?
Well, it was the spouse, but after that last conversation, take my kids, leave your ass alone with your problem.
Oh my God! You do this on purpose, I swear.
Hey, that was stupid.
Oh my goodness.
Honestly, though, in all honesty, it's the spouse because at the same time, it's like why the spouse? Easy. It took me 34 years to find her ass. It took me 20 minutes to make you. So therefore, I'm picking over you every day. So,
Oh my God!
hey, I'm not gonna beef with my wife because you want to act an idiot. So I'm gonna need for you to fix it, bruh. But yeah, I'm picking my spouse because your spouse is somebody that you come together with. Like you made this work. Kids just kind of pop out and you just like, damn, I love this thing. And then that's just how it happens, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I had to find reasons to love my spouse and reasons to stay. I don't have to do that with a kid. I was just like, hey, I love you because you're here, you mine, I made you. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Like finding a spouse is hard work. Making a kid is not. That's to me my reason.
on the fact.
I guess that's another topic. Is finding a spouse hard work?
Yeah.
You asking me? I'm about to hit you.
We're not asking you, Jody.
I'm about to
We're
hit
not
you.
asking you.
Write it down, CM. Write it down.
Write it down, CM. Coach A.
Yeah, I'm to be put first for sure. And it's different both ways. Sometimes, from a man's standpoint, sometimes putting the kids, elevating or taking care of the kids, is putting your spouse first. Maybe you give her a break or help her out by doing things like that. So it looks different from different sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely is important that you put them because that's who you're gonna be with the rest of your life. The kids, they growing up, obviously they got to be taken care of, but they're gonna be going on their own life and doing their own thing. They ain't gonna look back and be like, "Yo, why you by yourself?" They go like, "You shouldn't have messed up, Dad. You should have put her first." So
Shouldn't have messed up, Dad.
yeah. Now I gotta come visit you every week because you all lonely. You done lost your man. So yeah, you really have to, but it's just how do you do that, and how do you do that and how do you balance it correctly? Because obviously you don't want the kids to lose their advantage or their, nurturing point where they become healthy. So, you don't want to completely neglect them. But at the same time, you want to make sure that your spouse, and I think it's just a lot of a feeling, it's all mental, that at different times you prove or show your spouse that they're more important, they're the most important things, and that stuff will go on a long time. You're not going to be doing stuff all the time, but if at different times you show that they're more important, it'll really resonate inside their heart and you won't have any issues inside everybody's heart. The kids know, don't mess with mom or don't mess with dad, or you'll get in trouble. They ain't playing.
Real talk. Hey, I agree with everybody else. I think the spouses should come first, and I also believe that what showing that the spouse comes first, it sets an example for our children. You know what I'm saying? I think because children are watching. Children are watching, even though we don't think they're watching. They're watching everything they do. They're listening to everything we say. So if I'm putting my fiance first, and these boys, especially with raising these boys, if I'm putting my fiance first, and they're seeing that, they're seeing how an example on how to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, you know, when they get older and they get out here on these streets and doing their own thing, they'll do the same. So definitely for me, it's putting the spouse first at all costs.
But I also think it's levels to it because, like, when you get into a situation where you get like step parents, then it's kind of like, well, hey, you gotta earn that first spot because I ain't had nobody, so these kids been first. So it's like now you gotta earn.
Why
that.
would you even get?
But
in
why
a
would you
situation
marry
where
them
put your
then?
kids first?
Yeah, can't do that.
Why would you marry them?
No,
Well,
why would you Why would you get into a situation like get into marriage if you gonna say, hey, in this marriage,
Yeah.
my kids come first
I'm
until
talking
you
about
take the
in a
number one
relationship.
spot?
I ain't talking about married. Like when.
Oh, okay.
What if you can't? You're not a step parent if you not married, right?
Right.
Like,
No.
okay, well, like when you dating a girl who got kids, it's like you gotta earn that spot. So it's
Hey, I
like
appreciate that, T.
and be like, you know, in a place where you show her that she can trust you to be here before you earn that step parent spot. But then that's kind of like a delicate situation because, like, let's say you put this dude first and it don't work out, then it's like, now what? Like you feel like you just wasted your time. So I feel like with that situation, it's a little it get a little delicate once you get into that step parent role.
Jody in this wasted time, man. We gonna
See ya, man. What else we got, bro? What else we got?
Yeah.
Well, you speaking of wasted time. When is a good time to say I love you?
Oh, here we go.
Because yeah, we can have it.
Whenever you
It's
want.
never too often.
Whenever you
not too
want.
often.
Listen,
When is a
let
good
me
time?
say this.
Not
Let
no
me say
damn
this.
2 months. I tell you that. Not
Let me
no.
Oh, you talking about when a good time to say it first or something?
When is the
Yeah,
perfect
say it
time for
first.
somebody to say I love you and mean it?
Listen,
Whenever you want.
it's whenever
No, hell.
you listen, Jody. Whenever you want to say I love you is the good time is when you want to say I love you. The
Because
thing
listen,
about
this is my
saying-
thing.
Madison, not after
Go
2
ahead.
weeks.
My fault, Brandon.
No, you good, Jimbo. But the thing is because people throw this word love around
Quick,
like it's nothing.
like
The
water.
thing is,
It should
the thing
be.
is,
No,
Yeah, this should be. No.
You can't just go up to a stranger and say I love you because you
I
don't.
do. Yeah, you do.
You do.
can.
okay.
You
You
can.
do.
No,
It's
you
it's
can't.
different.
but
It's
I'm
different
like,
forms of love.
God
Can I
loves us,
Can I-
and we ain't have to earn it. So why we supposed to do the same thing to other people? You're supposed to start from love and work your way back.
Everybody ain't got that mindset.
We ain't got.
Listen. This is what I was gonna say before y'all interrupted me. The thing about this thing, love, we were all instilled to love. Everybody walking the face of this planet was instilled to love. And it doesn't matter if it's your spouse, your friend, your brother, your mother. Like Coach says, some people walking the street, people like to hear that word love. The only thing about that thing word love is that it's an action word. You dig what I'm saying? You can say it all you want. If there's no action behind it, it means nothing. You dig what I'm saying? And that's just adding on to what the conversation is about saying about love. So if that, and just like I told y'all before we got on the podcast, I love the people I work with. Now, whether they don't like me or not, I love them. You know what I'm saying? And I tell these people that I love them, and it can be a time where if I'm thinking it in my head and I don't say it, and I miss my opportunity to say it because, Lord forbid, somebody passed away or they moved away or this, that, and another, that person don't know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? So you can say I love you to anybody at any time
Oh my gosh.
at some point.
Who read that?
Nah, I ain't read that. Oh my god. Oh my
I love
God.
Coach A most of the time.
Oh my
Oh
God,
my
Jody.
God.
Most of the time.
So-
He has these times I'm just like, nope.
So
not
just so
saying
you
today.
know, saying that you love somebody is not the action. That's not action.
Yeah.
That's just saying words. When you talk about action, it has to do with
What
your.
he's saying during sex, he's saying that's an action. So does it count?
No, I'm not talking about that. Jody. Love is an action.
I don't think it really matters during that time. No, both people are so emotional, you can say anything pretty
You
much.
say just about what you want, and the other person will believe it. So let's not talk.
Yeah, that was the question. We talking about in a romantic relationship, right? Or we just talking about just throwing out?
No,
we talking
I think
about
we talking about
romantic
romantic relationships. I just extended it by saying you can say I love you at any time, any form, and if that's the question, even in a romantic relationship, if you say I love you, that's how you feel.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
So
how I feel on that is you can't. I just feel like this conversation is creating a box that we're trying to keep people in. You know what I'm saying? Where and I say, shoot, if you want to say you love somebody within the first week, don't let Jody or me or Coach A limit you to what you can do or how you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Or when you can say it.
Or when you can say it.
Right.
So listen,
if they feel like they love you at that moment, and then I'm knowing Jody say, "Hey, I can't say that within the next 2 weeks."
Yeah.
You putting me in an emotional box because I can't tell you how I feel because you say, "Oh, can't nobody love me in 2 weeks or not."
They
So,
can't.
hey, let me throw y'all for a loop.
Yes, Amanda.
Hey, let me throw y'all for a loop. It's been my perspective that love doesn't keep a relationship together
That's right.
at all. Love is just words, and you know what I'm saying. It's actually understanding. It's actually understanding.
Hold on,
that
is
keeps
love
people
an action
together.
or is it just words?
It's action.
Okay, so love has a part in keeping the relationship together. Not one thing keeps
It's
the relationship
understanding.
together.
It has a part,
It's
but it
many,
doesn't
it's
keep
many components to keeping it together, not just one.
The main
kind
thing
Hold on,
is-
hey, hold on. What you got for us, Lolita? You been quiet.
Yeah, I agree that you say it whenever you're good and ready to, and that nobody can tell somebody when they actually love somebody. And I agree that I love you is just words, but when you put that action behind it, that's what actually is what matters. I mean, that's just the bottom line of it, is your action all day long. And I was in a long-term relationship where he told me he loved me after 3 weeks, and we were together for almost a decade. So it's not like just because you still prematurely that person is, psych or anything like that. No, that's how that person felt.
Right.
And that's so sweet. But don't tell me you love me after no damn 3 weeks, because I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy.
That's why you ain't got nobody right now.
Right now.
Hold on, Jody has multiple people right now.
Who's saying got nobody? She might be watching right now. You never
Multiple
know.
people.
Yeah, and you telling her she can't tell you in 2 weeks, you ain't got her.
Anybody can entertain many different women, but it takes a real man to entertain one over a long period of time.
All right, cool.
And over a long period of time, you got I love you.
Brendan, you stupid.
What? I was agreeing with you.
No, the way you said it, you was like, all right, coach.
I was agreeing with him.
So listen, we talking about relationships. Let me tell y'all a little something that I read. Right,
cultivating.
So
let's go.
Men have different needs than women. That's why it's understanding that allow us to stay together. And especially in relationships, you get to understand a man, the person that you're with, and you understand a woman. So think about this. We have different needs. We all have vehicles, right? You have a car, right? So in order for your car to function, it needs gas. You have to have gas. We don't like gas. We don't drink gas, right? But we know that the car needs gas in order to function. So that's how relationships are. You have to realize and understand that your partner have. You don't like it might not be something you don't like saying I love you, or you don't like buying flowers or getting flowers, but you recognize that your partner needs those things, so you do it in order to help them function. And it's the
That
same
was
way.
a word. That was a word.
You better, hey, coach, what a clap. Thank you, coach. I like that, bro.
Hey, but you know what my car don't run off of? Love. My car don't run off of love. I'll say that.
Nothing runs off love. It runs off understanding.
All right, so don't tell me that too early then, because we ain't running off of love.
Jody, I think this is a battle you can't win.
I'm not. It ain't about it. I win.
You know,
I
like I said, if Jody ain't heard not one thing Coach said,
3 weeks, I'm looking at you like you crazy. Like what? Why?
Jody hear everything that I say. Everything. Y'all know that. He just like being
that's why Jody don't want no girl like T and Sam. He don't want no girl like T and Sam. But they gonna tell you they love you before your 2 weeks.
For
I'm
real.
gonna tell you, hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I sure appreciate it, especially if I met her from like 1,300 miles away. You know what, Debbie? I might let you
Stop that, bro. Stop that.
Oh my God.
Hey, shout out to my baby though. Shout out to my baby.
Yes,
right? Because
sir.
y'all inspired me.
We know that.
No, we didn't. Because he still can't take love in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right.
You know
man.
what?
You can't
I
take
might
love in 2 weeks.
recondition it to take long distance love in 2 weeks if it's that far away. You know what? Maybe B and Sam was on to something here, so I'm gonna take it.
I guess. Anyway, what else we got? CEO.
I think that was it.
I think that was it.
I think
Yeah,
that
that's
was
it.
man.
'Cause
Listen,
y'all don't
we want what?
y'all don't know how to act.
Nate, I thought you was gonna make it.
Oh, Nate pop up when it's time to go. All right, Nate, what's up, man? How you doing? How you feeling, brother?
Nate hit us with, hey, how many people in there? Who are there?
Who all there?
Who all over there?
Oh, there.
Pop up.
Hey, man, listen. I wanna say thank you to everybody that was in the comments. I ain't get all the comments. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried. That's why I asked y'all people to come on the show and talk, because y'all was bumping up the comments today. And we love that. We love everybody's opinion and everybody's thoughts on what's going on. We like that you disagree with us sometimes. But nah, Nate, ain't no point. You just
Not one.
ain't no point. If you want to show your face, you know how to get on, but ain't no point. But thank you, thank everybody for coming on. Miss Lolita, who's usually a real talk regular, she popped up on the barbecue today. So, we got the claps. She pulled up on us on the barbecue. And LaQuisha, man, we appreciate you coming through and giving us a little bit of insight. And we love the fact that you did that. Fellas, man, what else we got going on?
Thank you, Lola. Thank you, Cree.
We got Box Meals by Chef Jimbo.
Yeah, they coming back around.
Box Meals by Chef
Yeah,
Jimbo.
man. This guy Adrian kept calling me, you know. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
They retros. We gotta bring them back.
Yeah.
Bring them back. They retros. So,
Man, you gonna suffer that brain atrophy. You gonna fall asleep on it, man, and let it go.
Right. So listen, before we roll out, like I said, we got Box Meals. Y'all check out my dude real quick, and y'all hit him up in those inboxes.
Stuck in my way, so I'm bound to be different. I have my days, so I'm far from consistent, but I talk with some sisters and none of them quite giving off the potential that I often consider when I walk through the city light, looking for way more than the art in some cities, but the boss getting plenty of that guap. They tell your man that he better never flop. Still I got the plan that's gonna take us to the top. He won't hold you close like that. He's gonna only hold you back. I know you're going places, letting on a vacation. Don't need no validation. So stop.
Hey, y'all should have shout out to Tony Ultra.
Yeah, I was just gonna give
shout out to
Ultra.
Tony.
Shout out to Tony Ultra.
Y'all go listen to his music.
You catch him on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all the mainstream things. Y'all check out
Patreon. He got his Patreon.
Yeah, we got a
I
Patreon.
don't think the music fits the food. That's just my opinion.
That's fine, Coach. You ain't got to think.
But everybody was jamming to it.
Everybody was over the nod their head. So
Love it. Yeah, for sure.
listen, hey, shout out to Tony Ultra big time, and like y'all check out Chef Jimbo. I think we coming on the 21st, right?
Yeah,
Jimbo?
Saturday. We
Y'all put y'all orders in,
pre-orders.
man. Y'all put y'all pre-orders in, man. Y'all fatten up my dog pockets real quick. You did what I'm saying. So Strong Flavors, meal prep.
And you already know what the season is. I'm buying a bunch of meals, buddy. Passing them out. For sure.
Oh yeah. It is that time. Oh yeah, shouts out to Rapid Returns. Make sure y'all hit up my guy Coach A. He do my taxes.
He
do my taxes. He do my daddy taxes, my uncle taxes, my granddaddy taxes.
Now I do nonprofits, I do corporations, all that. It's my 19th year, man.
Shout out to Coach A.
So for sure.
Hey, Cree, you want to plug anything before you get out of here?
She got something to plug. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Lola, I know you got something to plug.
Yeah, no, I'm full. I'm good.
Oh,
Thank
God.
you for having me on.
Good.
Hey, what you doing Tuesday?
Did I tell you, Cree?
There you go. What you doing Tuesday?
What you doing Tuesday?
Hey, shoot me what y'all talking about, and I'll shoot it to her.
What you, Lucretia, hit me up. What you doing Tuesday?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
Hey, and y'all first box meal from Jimmy is on me. It's on Rapid Returns.
Oh, Coach.
Okay.
Just a guess, not everybody. Y'all settle down, fellas.
Wow. You're gonna
Said just a guess. Y'all, not everybody. Y'all settle down. All right. So, LaQuisha and Lola, y'all hit up Coach. Y'all get y'all
So
first
you
box
shipping it to
meal.
Orlando or
Hit
what?
up-
Like how's
hit
that
up
working?
We'll
We gonna get it to you.
yeah, we gonna get something to you. Don't
I'll meet
worry.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, we be in Orlando sometimes.
And you doing it the 21st, you said?
Oh, she
the
want her
21st.
box
She
meal.
want her box meal.
I've been
Oh.
It's my birthday. That's
Yes,
my
the
birthday.
20. Oh,
Happy
well,
birthday.
we gonna take care of you, Lola. We can take care of you.
Don't take care of Lola on her birthday.
Yeah.
Y'all wish happy birthday to Lola on the 21st, man. Hey, we ain't got nothing else, man. If y'all got some final thoughts, let's get it.
Hey, Cree, stay on after. Don't just jump off yet, Cree.
For me?
Yeah.
No,
don't
I
jump
just
off
want to
yet.
say that I enjoyed this. Like, this was really cool, and I hope to be back maybe one day.
That's up to you. You
Like I
got an
said,
open
we
invitation.
gonna talk to you after the show. Don't jump off.
Okay.
Lola
Alright.
got an open invitation. She already know that.
She already know that. Yeah, Lola, you welcome at any show that we possibly have. You are welcome. All y'all. LaQuisha, you welcome.
Thank you all.
Any final thoughts?
Y'all have a
CM?
good rest of your weekend.
Lola, is you
too,
sticking?
Lola.
Is you sticking to your plan? You remember we told you to hold you accountable. Is you sticking to your plan? Don't
She said,
Don't do it like that.
Do your job, Hendrick.
sticking to your plan. Don't.
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
here we go. Y'all look
Who
at
just
this.
walked
Before
in
we
the
go.
building?
Before we go.
Put your
What
shirt
happened? I
on,
just
man.
woke
There you
up, my
go,
bad.
coming up here naked.
I just woke up. I
Put
just
your
rolled
shirt
out of bed.
Hey, Coach,
Hey,
hey,
man.
hey, get the sensor bar ready.
The CEO should have known better.
The CEO should have known better.
Yeah. I
Huh.
just wanted to speak. I can cut the show now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, you know how you do. Go ahead and put that show in the credits on, Jim.
All right, bye.